Bismuth. Let's talk about bismuth. Welcome back to Crystal Clear on the Roundtable. I'm AwestruckVox, and with the upcoming special event Steven Universe, Heart of the Crystal Gems, I am now 100% convinced that this will be the string of episodes that sees the return of Bismuth. From the length of this arc, from its title to the center of its focus, and hopefully this time she's here to stay, but let's worry about that after she's back in the show. And I believe this conflict is a better time than any. So let's actually analyze this conflict. These 5 episodes will be focusing on the fallout of learning Rose was Pink Diamond and how it affects our core cast, but mainly Garnet, as Garnet ceases to exist once again as Ruby and Sapphire split up. This time for good? Alright, obviously this time won't be for good. If anything, it'll accumulate into the Ruby and Sapphire wedding. I'm anticipating the "you may now kiss the bride" line, initiating the two fusing back into Garnet, but this is a case where it's not about the destination, but rather the journey. Now, because this is a Garnet arc, while also developing Ruby and Sapphire separate from each other, which I think is very cool because even in episodes like Keystone Motel, Ruby and Sapphire are kind of always attached to the hip. For the longest time, their characters have been, well, one's quiet, one's rowdy, but they love each other, they're always all over each other. But if they're in conflict for multiple episodes, we get to see more of their own distinct personalities and how they have evolved over the series. Because I don't see this just being Keystone Motel. And who knows, they may actually reconcile sooner than later. I really hope their falling out doesn't last 4 or 5 episodes, maybe just 2, 3. And we can have an episode where, while they're on good terms again and they reconciled, they're still just not ready to form Garnet again. Now, looking at this conflict, the episodes Your Mother in Mine and Pool Hopping make a lot more sense for their placement in the season, as they were setting the groundwork for this arc. And this is where foreshadowing comes into play. In Your Mother in Mine, Garnet references only 4 specific crystal gems: her, Rose, Pearl, and Bismuth. They made it a point to involve Bismuth, to have her pop up in the imagery. Bismuth is someone clearly important to Garnet, and someone who was a direct victim of Pink Diamond's actions as Rose Quartz. Now, it always felt like Bismuth was one conversation away from rejoining the gems and being on good terms with everybody. I mean, in her final moment, she accepted that Steven wasn't Rose Quartz, so it was always very much a what gives situation, but this would be the perfect opportunity. The person who bubbled her away for thousands of years in the first place was actually a diamond. She was actually one of the 4 matriarchs Bismuth despised the most. So with this arc being very focused on Garnet, and Bismuth being someone Garnet heavily adores and was a victim of Pink Diamond, it just makes a lot of sense for her to return. And yes, for no other reason than to talk, because now more than ever, it's time for them to all talk. Maybe Steven's the one who makes the decision that Ruby and Sapphire won't listen to Pearl, they won't listen to Amethyst. They don't understand what it feels like to be lied to on their scale. Pearl was her Pearl. Amethyst came out after the war. So not to discredit Amethyst in all this, as I'm sure there's definitely a lot of development to be had with her, but considering Ruby and Sapphire's position when Garnet was created and when Garnet joined the Crystal Gems, Ruby and Sapphire may just feel isolated for the rest of the team. But Bismuth can relate to them. Bismuth was tricked by Rose Quartz. Bismuth was stabbed in the back. Bismuth can relate to her more than anybody. And as for this arc being titled Heart of the Crystal Gems, I think that alone insinuates, well, all of the Crystal Gems. And really, I can't see them doing 5 episodes straight of this without having a major twist or return of a character like Bismuth, because when we look at previous arcs like the Sardonyx arc or Steven and Connie's falling out, a lot of those subplots were intertwined with Townie episodes or other plots happening. I don't see us getting any Townie episodes this time. Now more than ever, it would feel extremely out of place. The only intermission I could really see would be Lars returning to Earth finally, which I would heavily enjoy. Who knows, maybe Lars will land at the same time Ruby and Sapphire have their wedding, which will coincide with Sadie's gig in Beach City. The gig being at Garnet's wedding. Now they have an actual reason to have a show at Beach City other than for the hell of it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited. And with 5 whole episodes, again, it's certainly Bismuth time. When I just hear the phrase Heart of the Crystal Gems, I cannot help but to imagine Bismuth returning. But as always, these are just my thoughts and I'd love to hear yours. What do you think? Do you believe Bismuth will return in these episodes? Let us know in the comments below or tweet your thoughts related to me at AwestruckVox or at the Roundtable on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Roundtable Vids. If you want to help the Roundtable grow, support us on Patreon. Get access to exclusive perks and have your name featured at the end of the video like all these beautiful, wonderful people. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and if you're new here, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications, stay in the loop with all things Steven. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. AwestruckVox, signing out.